have you ever like heard a video recording of yourself and just cringed at the way you looked or the way you sounded? You know, if we haven't met before, my name is Joy Wilder. I'm the founder of Brilliant Life Business, mom of 4 kids, former location pastor. And today we're going to talk about my top 7 tips of how to be confident on video, even if you hate pressing the record button. So before we get into these tips, I want to just tell you a little story. Like a few years ago when I was getting into online business, I hated being on video. I actually did years of speech therapy growing up. I got joked all the time in elementary school with the way my voice sounded. And my coach said that going on video was basically like critical. So I just had to overcome it. And so she was like, Joy, you just got to get this video out. So I did it. I followed what she said. And can I just tell you, like, the amount that I've been able to serve people over the last few years by going live on videos and putting videos out there into the world has been so, like, self-satisfying. And I'm so glad that I overcame that fear. And my hope is that I can help you do that today. Like, I believe that each of us has an important message to share with the world, and video is the best way, in my opinion, to do that. Also, if you're in business, video is the fastest way to grow, know, like, and trust. Okay, so why do you have to do video? Like, maybe couldn't you write like a nice, lovely, long blog post? And you could definitely do that. But I just want to let you know that like writing a long blog post is going to have a much longer runway if you're in business to getting people to buy your product or service, okay? Because video, like I said before, it's the fastest way to build know, like, and trust. It's kind of like you're sitting down and having coffee with someone, right? So the more that people trust you, the more that people are going to buy from you. So the more videos that you make, the more people that people are going to just buy from you, okay? So I also want to encourage you that I was really encouraged when I learned this, if you're scared to do video, if it just like that thought makes you nervous or uncomfortable, let me just put you at ease that people, they don't even notice if you're nervous. You just need to be you. You know, I've heard it said before that it takes 10,000 hours studying a subject to become an expert on that subject matter. And guess what? You spent 10,000 hours being you, right? So you can, you are an expert at being you. So when you hit record, just be yourself. Just be cool, be yourself, okay? That's really, people don't notice if you're nervous. I was like so nervous the first few times I did video, and then you just become comfortable. But I just want you to know, people don't even notice if you are nervous, okay? So here are some really like mega power tips. The first thing is that I want to encourage you to look at the camera hole of the video camera. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be recording either on your on a computer or on a phone, and you want to be looking at the camera hole. Okay, so here's my phone. It is, let me just kind of give you an example. It is incredibly distracting if you're not looking at the camera hole, and this takes a little bit of practice to get used to. But if you're watching this on video, like, so I am looking way not at the camera hole, and it is just so distracting because you can't connect with my eyeballs, and you really just can't connect with the heart of what I'm saying. But immediately, if I can look at the camera, even if I'm looking down, which is, you know, or like I can see all these other beautiful faces, it's still really distracting. So you want to train yourself to look at the camera hole. The next thing to do is, and I did this when I was first starting out, is you can print out a picture of like a great friend of yours, a person that you just love connecting with, maybe having a coffee, and tape it right next to the camera hole on your device. And that way, just imagine yourself talking to your best friend. Like, you're not putting on a show or anything, you're just being yourself, being normal, talking to your best friend. Okay, you want to hold your phone in landscape mode, so like the wider part, like that. And then the next thing I want to share with you guys is that people need to be able to see your hands, okay? So if you are holding your phone, like if you're going to do like selfie style, just hold it far enough away that they can see your other hand, okay, just like that. The reason being is that studies have shown that if people can't see your hands in a video, they start to feel very nervous, subconsciously scared. It's kind of like maybe someone's coming up to your car window and they can't see your hands and they don't know what you're going to do with your hands. So whenever you're taking video, try to let them see at least one of your hands, if not both of your hands. Which leads me to my next point, which is you want to avoid what I call karate chopping hands. This is actually very hard. I'm still working on this, but you want to avoid like doing that, like wagging your finger, but like doing this karate chop with your hands. So what would be preferable is if you have to make a point, instead of being like 1, 2, 3 karate chop, go 1, 2, 3 from left to right. Okay, so that's a great thing to do. Another great thing to do with your hands is, even if you're holding your phone selfie style, is to have that other hand, to have your shoulders open and back, and that other hand open. So that's a really welcoming pose. That's also considered a real power pose if you're doing public speaking or recording. Okay, so that's a great thing to do with your hands. And then as far as equipment goes, first I want to talk about lighting. No, actually, first I'm going to talk about audio. Okay, so lighting is important, but the best thing that's important is, the most important thing is, okay, so the most important thing is to have good audio. Okay, so you don't really need a mic, I don't think. If you want a mic, I'll link in the notes a mic that would be helpful. But if you are using like an iPhone, a pretty current phone, even a pretty current laptop, the audio is going to be pretty great for it. Okay, conversely, you could get a mic that I link up. If you're outside, then I would encourage you to use earbuds, or pods, or Bluetooth, that type of thing. But if you're outside and it's windy, that's really like not super ideal. Okay, so but I just want to encourage you, as far as video goes, people will tolerate bad visual much better than they'll tolerate bad audio. Okay, so the audio is kind of the most important thing. The next thing is lighting. Okay, you can buy some fancy ring lights. You can buy a stand if you want. I'll link some like a very affordable recommendations I have for that, but they're not always necessary. Like the best thing is natural light sitting facing a window, which is what I'm doing right now, or facing a ring light. But you don't even have to have either of those. But if you're going to be like near a window, face the window, so the natural light is shining on you. And then you can use a stand, but you don't necessarily need a stand. Studies are showing that right now, these selfie style videos are actually converting better than like the nice glossy produced videos. Okay, so that's kind of like a note on the lighting and the equipment. And then the last thing I want to share with you for the video power tips is something called hook story offer, or hook story lesson. So this is like a general marketing, like pretty old school formula that you can use. I actually used it in today's video. And what you want to do is you can also use this in writing. I use this in a lot of like my social like media posts as well as emails, but definitely for video, you want to hook people in right away, because this is why if you've ever run Facebook ads, they tell you statistics for 3-second views. People decide if they're going to watch their video within the first 3 to 7 seconds. So the very first thing you want to do with them is to give them a hook, okay? And that creates an open loop in their mind. So you think of a hook as like, if you're fishing, you like hook them and you kind of get their attention. So the hook, just whatever you can say. If you're familiar with like this marketing term, like you could use your headline, like how to like get a result that your avatar most wants without their giant pain. But whatever you want to say for a hook, just like hook them in with some hook. Then you can say real quick like who you are, just state who you are, and then go into a very short story. and then people connect with you, and then deliver either your offer or your lesson. So if you're selling something, you can deliver your offer, your call to action on that offer, or your lesson. Like today, I'm telling you 7 power tips on how to record video. Okay, so hook, story, offer, or lesson. All right, so that's it. That's my tips on how to be confident on video, even if you hate